Hello, I'm Miss Eiler, and this video is to help you understand what happens in 7th grade science. These are the 4 units that we will be covering this year in 7th grade. They build upon, students build upon what they learned in 6th grade. And so you can see the units. So we have a physics unit, a earth science, weather unit, a chemistry unit, and a life science unit. In this classroom, it is flexible paced, which means that students no longer have to feel frustrated because they didn't quite get it the first time, nor do they need to feel bored because maybe the pace of the classroom is going too slow. Students will have the ability to take the time they need to learn. I have target due dates, but nothing is set in stone, and lessons are accessible to everyone at all times. There are some huge benefits for students. Students will get immediate feedback on any questions they might have through a lesson, or actually knowing what they got on a mastery check, whether they can move on or not. In this classroom, it is very organic. I am part of the learning process and available to students at all times. This really helps to build stronger relationships with my students and allows me to understand their needs. So therefore, I can customize the lessons to meet your child's needs. Overall, this system, this flexible paced learning environment really teaches students to manage their time. My classroom is built upon 3 pillars of flexible paced classrooms, which are blended learning, which students have a variety of ways that are the lesson design that uses videos, notes, labs, and activities that help build the understanding. It is self-paced, so they can set daily goals to move through the lessons, and finally show their mastery of one lesson before moving to the next. If your child doesn't show mastery on the first time, that's okay. I might ask them to go back and revisit my instructional video. I might work with them independently. I might ask them to complete a different kind of review and then maybe get help from a classmate, because sometimes hearing it from somebody else just makes more sense. And then they'll have the opportunity to try again on a different mastery check. Grades are like this. There are 2 categories, practice and mastery, or assessment. Practice is not graded, but you'll see it in Schoology. You'll see it as a 1, meaning that it was completed with proficiency, 0 if they need to go back and revise it because it didn't quite show the understanding that I would like at that time. Or if you see no score, it just means that they haven't done it yet. Mastery checks and any performance tasks are graded on a 8-level IB scale, and this is what determines your child's grade in science. Also important to point out, there needs to be a minimum level of 4 met before moving on to the next lesson. Here's a little tour of Schoology. In Schoology, you will find I have an interactive calendar, unit folders, resource folders, and opportunities for students to extend their learning. This is what they look like. Unit folders are labeled with the unit number. And then over here, I have a resource folder and a general science extensions. If you're looking for some extra stuff for your child to do, this is where you're going to want to look. When you first open my Schoology page, you will find this calendar. This is what I consider the pacing calendar. It is an interactive calendar, so you can see today is the 23rd. And so if you, most students should be in this kinetic energy lesson. And so when you click on the bar, it will give you a link to the lesson. And once you click the link, it will look like this. This will have the goal of the lesson. It will have all the tasks and the pacing or the dates that are the suggested pace. Like again, some people will be moving slower, some students will be moving faster, and then finally underneath are all the links to the tasks. So what happens if your student is not on pace? We just keep moving forward. I really hope students just get something done every day. Moving forward is better than not moving at all. So we work at keeping, looking at that pacing tracker and setting goals, and then kind of considering what it is that they're doing with their time. So if you need help at home, I am in the computer, so you can access all of my instructional videos and any of the other resources that are online. So I really do appreciate all that you do at home to support learning. I do believe that students succeed due to the cooperative efforts of teachers, students, and family members. So I hope this helped you understand a little bit more about 7th grade science.